A woman in her 60s actually came to a company to work as an intern. The key point was that all the employees in this company were in their 20s. On her first day at work, Maria's actions immediately stunned everyone. She solemnly opened her work bag but took out a fountain pen and a notebook. Seeing that Maria was about to work entirely by handwriting, everyone hurried to explain that everyone now works on computers. So Maria began typing on the computer. Unexpectedly, she was so unfamiliar with it, as if touching a computer for the first time. Everyone was extremely confused. How could such an outdated elderly woman become an intern? It turned out that Maria was the founder of the nation's top company, the Minos Group. But in order to temper her son Ron's character, she did not reveal her identity. Ron started a small company through his own efforts. It just so happened that Maria had reached retirement age. She no longer wanted to manage the affairs of the Minos Group. She only wanted to stay by her son's side and at the same time evaluate his character and abilities. If Ron passed her assessment, Maria would let him inherit the Minos Group. Unexpectedly, as soon as she entered the lobby, she was bumped into by a woman. Daisy angrily accused Maria of blocking the way and told her to get lost immediately. Maria explained calmly that first, Daisy had run into her, but she did not want to pursue the matter second. She was there for an interview and was not loitering for no reason. However, hearing this only made Daisy more arrogant because she was the interviewer for the day. Daisy said she would never hire Maria and told her to leave the building immediately. Maria finally showed a look of disapproval. She was shocked by Daisy's character and work attitude, and even began to doubt Ron's judgment. Seeing that Maria refused to leave, Daisy continued to insult her. At that moment, Ron walked over. Daisy hurried to complain, saying that there was a beggar causing trouble. Ron was about to get angry, but turned around and saw that it was his own mother. He immediately turned back and slapped Daisy. When Daisy learned that Maria was Ron's mother, she hurriedly tried to apologize. But after hearing the whole story, Ron gave her no more chances and directly fired Daisy. Ron's company did not need arrogant and domineering employees. Ron originally wanted to persuade his mother to leave, but Maria insisted on staying. Ron had no choice but to say she was a newly hired intern. The shareholders and the secretary were all stunned because they were in the e-commerce industry, which requires young employees with strong learning abilities. A woman in her 60s simply could not do the job. Facing everyone's doubts, Ron had no choice but to admit that she was his mother and he could not go against her wishes. So Maria went to her workstation, but she did not really know how to use a computer. Ron strongly urged his mother to give up, but Maria refused to give up. Hearing that Ron and the shareholders were worried about company policies, she offered to help, but Ron did not believe his mother had experience in corporate management. While they were arguing, the secretary came to inform them that an important figure had arrived at the entrance. Everyone hurried to go greet him. It turned out that a famous CEO, Louis, would be using the venue today. Ron and his team greatly needed this opportunity to get to know Louis, so they were extremely attentive. Little did they know that in front of Maria, Louis was only worthy of lowering his head to speak. So everyone went to the lobby. Ron stepped forward to greet Louis, but Louis and his group did not bother to acknowledge such a small company. Ron stepped back awkwardly. While Louis was on the phone, Maria appeared. She called out to Louis as if summoning a junior. Everyone felt that Maria was extremely rude. Several bosses mocked Maria, saying she was crazy for trying to curry favor with a big shot. At that moment, Louis finished his phone call and turned around to see Maria calling him. Everyone thought Louis was about to lose his temper. Unexpectedly, he ran up smiling and shook hands with Maria. Everyone was utterly shocked. Maria, however, showed a look of nostalgia because Louis had once been an intern at the Minos Group. Maria had once kept him by her side and taught him like a student. Therefore, he treated Maria with great respect. At this moment, Maria proposed that Louis join Ron's company. Ron looked at his mother in shock. Unexpectedly, Louis immediately agreed and promptly handed his resume to Ron.